Hey there, guys. I've been working out some strategy on Treshen, the Hydra. As you can see, I am currently rank technically 4, but I am actually the legitimate rank 1 after the boss has been out for like 15 hours. Yeah, so here I am at rank 4. You know, these are like extremely obvious cheaters. Like, you are not bringing Onion Knight to this boss and getting higher score than me. And this guy was a cheater last Clash of Wills. Why is he here again? Gumi is an absolute failure on not banning these idiots. But anyway, this strategy, as of the first day, is the rank 1 strategy. I'm going to go ahead and post it, and I'm going to lose 150 ranks by morning. Anyway, so we're going to be going to levels 81 with a 210% team. This is very similar to Mortarum from last month. So 210%, 81. This is the team we're going to use. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video real quick because I'm going to be running some variants. I want to show you guys a good run. So when I get a good variance run, I'm going to go ahead and use that as the example clear, and then I'll show the team and all at the end. So see you in a moment. Alright guys, I've used up my orbs, fishing for high variance. This is my last orb for the evening, so I'm going to go ahead and slow and detailed explain the clear. And then I'll just edit in the highest variance run of the runs we've done tonight, and then I'll explain the gear and all at the end. So let's go ahead and give it a go. So we've got lots of auto casting on the party to help with morale fill. Alright. So let's let all this finish. Yeah, because we're going for a speed clear, morale is a really big deal. So a lot of auto casting with Conductor's Batons, Lilies, Philosopher's Stones, Phoenix Synergy, all the auto casting morale we can get. Okay, so Kresnik is going to Arcane Stimulant literally every single turn. That is his only duty, is filling as much morale as physically possible. So every turn, Arcane Stimulant. Laura Croft on the first 2 turns are going to Calamity Border for the Resist All buff. Cacteria on this turn is going to triple. We're going to do Unfaltering Resolve for the defense buff for Maeve, Thorny Teamwork for the resist buff for Maeve. That's a 150 Earth resist, kind of a big deal. And we're going to Hollow Desert to imbue the party with Earth so we feel more morale from counterattacks and all. Now Carton is going to Chaos Grenade and retarget our own team so that we break our own team for more morale. We're either going to be evading it, immuning it, or gutsing it, so we don't kill anyone. Maeve is going to triple. We're going to Hunting Call for morale fill, Natural Protection for the cover, and Practice Lore for the mitigation. Alright, now Bulwark is going to... Now we need to fill Cacteria's LB next turn without any kind of LB fills, so we're going to use Tonberry Boogie to force Kresnik to counter with Panacea, and that's going to fill up Cacteria next turn. So we're going to use Tonberry Boogie to force a counterattack to fill up Cacteria, and then we're going to use Jaunty Jubilee on Maeve for the big mitigation. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but cover, like most things in the game, has variance. When you first activate cover, your variance is rolled. If Maeve rolls high on her cover variance, we're totally fine. If she rolls a minimum roll, she might die. So it's going to be RNG how much damage she takes on turn 1. So here we go. We're hoping for a high cover variance. I'll know right away once she starts getting hit how high we rolled. If she's taking 700 in the first few hits, we're in trouble. Oh god, we got a low variance roll or a bad variance roll. Oh, this is not good. I was hoping for 500 or less per hit. Okay, so now we gotta hope the boss doesn't do a lot of thunder. Please don't use a lot of thunder, and if we're fine if so. I don't see. Oh, there's a thunder. No, please don't do any more. Don't do any more thunders. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. That was a really bad cover variance, and you saw how every single hit in the turn was taking 700 damage. That's because cover was that was like a minimum cover variance roll. and the boss only did 1 thunder, so we were fine. If Maeve rolls high on cover variants, we only take 500 to hit, and it's total. She ends the turn at max health and barely goes below half. But that was a bad roll. We still survived it, but if the boss had done like 3 or 4 thunder attacks on that turn, it would have been game over. Because I'll show you right here. I chose to basically ignore thunder resist. We're 100% earth resist after the imperils, but I ignored thunder resist because it's only a single target attack, and even if the boss does do it, it's not super damaging, but if he does too many of them, it's a problem. So that was some bad luck, but we still came out of it okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and reload. We're just going to Stimulant and Calamity Border again on turn 2 here. As you see, Cacteria's LB is filled up because we did all the Tonberry Boogies last turn. So we're going to go ahead and, before we do Cacteria, we're going to do Carton. We're going to shift and do his shifted LB for the modifier boost. Then we're going to do Cacteria's base form LB to put up a 35% Fist Imperil, a 135% Earth Imperil, and some 87 breaks. Bulwark on this turn is going to Chirrup and Mixtape. And Maeve on this turn is going to Effective Strategy for the break immunity, Hunting Call for morale, and Practice Swing just to fill morale a little bit more. Okay, a lot of morale that turn. Outstanding. There we go. Now, because we used an LB on turn 2, the boss is going to counter with Crackling. The thunder begins to crackle or something. That's like a morale penalty. So we lost 1,000 morale for that, but using those LBs I found is worth it. And we can usually still hit 200 morale on the kill turn. Not always, but depending on counter RNG, we can. Mechanical Heart is quite helpful on filling morale, because they fixed the bug and now boost your morale instead of lowering your morale. So Mechanical Heart is great. Love it. If you don't have it, feels bad, man. Feels bad. This is not the budget run. Alright. Yeah, you see Mechanical Heart is slowly pushing the morale the correct direction. Yeah, it used to push it the wrong direction, but that was a bug they fixed a few weeks back, or a few months back. I don't know when. Anyway, so our turn begins. More auto casting. There we go. A lot of auto casting. Morale continuously pushed. Keep going. Perfect. Perfect. Keep going. Keep going. Damn, we got disease in the boss. That sucks that we got disease in the boss. That means the boss is going to be immune to disease on turn 4. Super, super unfortunate that it procced there. Oh well. Bad luck. Bad luck. So this won't be the high score run. I'll have to edit in a better high score run from earlier. We're going to keep going though. So this turn, Maeve is going to Urine Natural. We're going to Hunting Call and Feral Instinct. That's going to give us Killers, Earth Imbue, Earth Amplify, etc. Bulwark is going to triple. We're going to Chirrup. We're going to Tonberry's Boogie again. We need to fill LB again next turn. And then we're going to Moogly Mixtape for a little bit of morale bonus. Alright, Kresnik is, once again, just Arcane Stimulant. Pump that morale as quick as you can. Cacteria is going to go ahead and shift this turn and get ready for next round. So we're going to Deadly Draught, 89 Spirit Break, and Desert's Fury. We're going to go ahead and shift Carton. Or Laura, I'm sorry. Laura is going to Volatile for the 90 break, and Carton's going to Frenzy. So just Laura and Carton by themselves are going to push this first threshold. So there we go. Okay. So the boss is going to Cure Disease. Feels real bad, man. Oh, actually, he doesn't on the threshold. What am I talking about? Am I just dumb? Yeah, he hasn't cured on the threshold. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. We're fine. We got disease. Okay. And I'm pretty sure we got max morale as well. Hey, okay, this is a good run. This is actually a good run. I was panicking for no reason. Disease is still up, and we have max morale. Okay. We have a... Now we're playing the variance game. Hopefully variance rolls high. First, let's go ahead and do our morale buffs. Alright, as you see, Laura's LB is not good to go, so Kresnik normal attack 4 times. That plus Tonberry Boogie gives us Laura's LB again. So good to go for another burst to finish this dummy boss off. So the boss has no mitigation buffs, has disease, has 35 fist in peril, technically a hammer in peril, an 89 spirit break and a 90 defense break, and a 135 earth in peril. So we are relatively looking good for damage. So we're going to go ahead and triple practice swing with Maeve. We're going to shift Bulwark. And we're going to triple Mascaphony. Cacteria is going to triple Desert's Fury. Carton's going to Frenzy again. And Laura is going to Queen of the Jungle now. This is going to be a slightly higher killer buff for herself. Okay, so because Bulwark and Cacteria are AoE, we're going to send them to chain first. Then we're going to chain everyone else. So let's go ahead and do our damage, and we're going to pray for a high roll. We're looking for like 7.8 or higher. It's a 134 chain score if you did it all correctly. Okay. Looking for that big boy variance. 7.8, 8.0, 7.83. Great roll. Okay, I'm glad. This is actually, I actually don't have to edit in a previous run. This is actually my new high score. I like it. I like it. Okay. So, there's my current new high score. Here is the... Oh, Laura! Big sad face. You've done better in the past. Laura's gone as high as 5.9. Oh my. That could have been a crazy run. Damn, Laura, why you fail me like this? She's had 5.9s in the past. Of course, this is 2 burst turns. We did burst on turn 3 and then again on turn 4. Keep in mind, Cacteria only bursted on turn 4. She did not burst at all on turn 3. So you can kind of double Cacteria's damage. She contributed, you know, look at her as like a 2.4 contribution. Still, obviously, way less than the 2 real DPS. Okay, so there was a new high. The last orb was a great high score run. Red Pearl? Nah, of course not. Couldn't be a perfect all around. Still rank 4 because of the cheaters. I showed the cheaters at the beginning of the run. So currently I'm rank 1. Once this video goes live, I'll be rank 150. Anyway, let's go ahead and show the gear and explain what we went on. So we did all of this modifiers. I'm going to turn the modifiers off when showing the gear because I don't want it to like confuse you with the resistances, but keep in mind that your resistances will be 100% lower when you've got both of these mods on. So keep that in mind. Alright, here is the party we use. As far as espers go, nothing really special here. You do want high earth resist on your tank. So Maeve got Golem because it's a tanky esper, and then Dragon and Beast Killer for the rest of the party. Here's the party. Let's show it in detail. So base form, Bulwark. The big thing Bulwark provides, very most important thing, is Jaunty Jubilee. This is an 85% physical mitigation. Technically for 2 turns, all that matters is the first turn. That first turn is absolutely brutal. It is very hard to survive that turn 1, especially with the attack and magic mod turned on. If you're struggling to survive turn 1, turn off that attack and magic modifier. If you're still struggling, I'll have a budget run at some point across the next 2 weeks. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, that was honestly his primary duty. They also filled morale because morale is very hard to fill in time with a 4-turn clear. Conductor's Baton, that's not important. He does have guts, so when we Chaos Grenade our own party, we have that done. Philosopher's Stone and mana reduction because he does get the mana drain as well, so we need him to have some mana good to go on turn 2. Yeah, the mana drain targets your highest mana unit, I believe, and that's going to be Bulwark on this team. And then Shift Form is geared for damage. We're using a fist weapon because of the Fist in Peril from Cacteria. They contributed like 120,000. Like, it's not really a damage dealer, but we still try-harded our best. So 150 Beast, 75 Dragon, and there was their build. Alright, Maeve in the base form is all we used. 6,000 defense, 4,200 HP, 300 Earth Resist. You don't need 300. But you kind of want 300 or better. Actually, technically, you want 450 Earth Resist, what we really want. We used a 150% Earth Resist buff from Cacteria. So that's a combined 450 Earth Resist after the Imperil as well as the Resist Down modifiers. If you're not using the Resist Down modifiers, you only need 350 Earth Resist after a buff for complete immunity. And complete immunity is not required, it just helps. It really helps quite a bit, because the boss's Earth attacks are AoE, and covering them can get really painful. The boss also does physical thunder damage in the first 2 turns. Thunder Resist is single target, so it's way less dangerous. As you saw, I had negative 280 Thunder Resist during the fight, and it was still fine. It was a little dicey, it was a little dangerous, but it was okay overall. Anyway, they were the cover tank, and if you don't have Maeve, a good swap is Behemoth. Behemoth can use his 90% general mitigation Magnus on turn 1. That, along with Bulwark's 85% physical mitigation, you should very easily survive that. Another option, if you don't have Bulwark, is Shadow Lord can do 95% physical mitigation. You can use that on turns 1 and turn 2, push the threshold on turn 3, and then finish on turn 4, and surviving should be no problem at all if you're using these really enormously high mitigations. Anyway, here is the build. So lots of bulk, lots of Earth Resist, a little bit of Thunder Resist if you can. Why am I using this card? Why am I using this card? This is not the... Whoops! I could have had a better card on her. Well, whatever. That's what we used. And then Shift Form, literally never use it, so I'm not even going to show it. Kresnik in the base form. Some auto-casting morale stuff. But more importantly is quad attack. That's all that really matters, quad attack. So dual wielding and then a multi-attack source. You could also use Aurora Scarf, whatever. Shift form, some auto casting with like Conductor's Baton, combat style, instrument, etc. I should mention, by the way, Maeve is, like I said, completely Earth immune, because when we do Chaos Grenade, we're Earth imbued, and that lets Maeve immune the Chaos Grenade, and then Bulwark gutses the Chaos Grenade, just FYI. Kresnik in the shift form is 100% evasion, so he evades the Chaos Grenade, which is how we don't kill our team. Anyway, Philosopher's Stone, auto casting, Conductor's Baton, Lilies would have been a good idea. I gave him 3 stars in Formal Suit and Philosopher's Stone because sometimes he gets mana drained as well. Hardly ever, but every now and then the boss picks on him with a mana drain. I don't know why, but when he does get mana drained with mana reduction and Philosopher's Stone, he's fine. So he does morale fill. Arcane Stimulant 3 turns in a row. That fills enormous amounts of morale. And then on turn 4, he does normal attack. He's back in the base form. He does normal attack and refills Laura's LB. Also, when Bulwark does Tonberry Boogie, it forces a counterattack out of Kresnik, and that triggers Holy Panacea even on off turns, which is how we're filling LB gauge on Lara Croft and Cacteria. Lara Croft, base form, Calamity Border, also full evasion so that we don't get killed by Chaos Grenade, Magisters, etc., or Celestial Garb, Lilies, Conductor's Baton. We're using that because of Instrumental Flare, etc. Shift form is damage. We're going with Fist this time because 35% Fist in peril with Cacteria. So double hand, cross Igon arm, killers, TMR, her own card, 7,000 attack power, 300 beast, and 250 dragon. So almost maxed across the board. Once you get the morale filled really high, she is the high damage dealer of the party. Cardin, base form, is using Riku's Pouch. He's also 100% evasion so that he doesn't kill himself with Chaos Grenade. Technically, he's using an Earth weapon. We actually used Earth Imbue at the same time, so that's kind of not super important. It is important that he's status immune, so he doesn't actually status himself with Chaos Grenade, because Chaos Grenade can status yourself when you do it. Anyway, full evasion, Phoenix Energy, auto casting, for morale. Shift form, dual wielding the high variance fist. So dual wielding the fist, and there we go. Actually, dual wielding the fist, killers, Tifa's card. So 6100 attack power, maxed beast, and 275 dragon. He was the secondary damage dealer. Then Cacteria. Base form, LB fill rate, and then a source of disease for countering. Full evasion, so we don't die to the chaos grenade. 950 fill rate, 11 LB per turn. Call of the Wild, paintbrush, a lot of mood makers. Yeah, we got to get her LB gauge filled on turn 2. Turn 2 is the safe turn to use LBs, so we got to do it by turn 2. So there's all the fill rate. Shift form, damage. She did, as you saw, approximately 1.2 billion of our 7.8 billion burst. So not a super big contribution to damage, but the Fist in Peril was the bigger deal. So there's her build. A lot of killers, 5,000 magic, 300 beast, 275 dragon, almost maximum killers. So there we go. There was the clear. I'm currently rank 1 legit. I will see you guys at rank 150 plus tomorrow. Later.